Hi, my name is Stephanie, and today I want to talk to you about the concept R is for respect. Now, thank you so much to Kaishana for suggesting this video. I know it's been a long time coming. She suggested it to me quite a while ago, and it is just now being published. I hope that this is helpful to you and also, of course, to everyone else. So I've spoken before on this channel about using specifically autism as an insult, as well as variations of that and why specifically I'm not a fan of that. It appears from the action of TikTok users not that long ago that people are still willfully ignorant about things and apparently don't mind having their face plastered across platforms while they do extremely ignorant and insensitive things. While I won't always be able to take ideas and requests, Kaishana had requested this and it seemed really important to her, and I think it also really kind of aligned with the fact that people have asked me to talk about intellectual disability in regards to autism. And while I haven't gotten to that yet, and I will have to work on that in the future, I feel like this is one step in talking about that in general. If you haven't caught on yet, we're going to be talking about the use of the R word. I looked into the origins of said R word, and it does appear that it is as diagnostic specific as using autism as an insult. While I honestly don't think that policing all insults and all slang terms and stuff like that is necessarily going to be useful and helpful, the Special Olympics has launched a 10-year-long campaign in an effort to get people to stop using the R word because of the damaging effects that it has. So the word retard is a slang shortening of mental retardation. This was actually formerly the official term for intellectual disability. In 2010, Rosa's Law was passed, which actually changed the language from mental retardation to intellectual disability in all federal documents. Many states have also followed suit by changing the terminology in official documentation. There was a study done in 2012 that looked into the perception of the term mental retardation versus developmental delayed. While in this particular study, intellectually disabled was not particularly well used. Within the 8 years between then and now, I do feel that that has obviously changed quite a bit. Regardless, the findings of the study are actually quite interesting, especially the following. Indeed, the majority of parents clearly indicated that they would be upset if a physician used the term mental retardation, and that the term should not be used when speaking with them or with affected individuals. Mental retardation is regarded as a less positive term and as a more serious diagnosis. The authors have heard it argued that the word delay has softness in comparison to retardation, implying the potential for catch-up over time. From a linguistic perspective, this is interesting. The actual meanings of the words delay and retard are identical, with both referring to the slowing of a process. The very common belief that one term is, in effect, more optimistic than the other must, therefore, be grounded in something other than the literal meaning of the words. One hypothesis is that the association of the word retardation with a stigmatized population has progressively shifted its interpretation. A second possibility is that a basic shift in vocabulary has made the use of the word retard less frequent so that many people do not know its meaning. They constantly heard it argued that saying developmental delay instead of mental retardation would somehow give the concept that it was more positive or that they could catch up, despite both terms technically meaning the same thing. I agree with the hypothesis that the word association and stigma has produced this very different connotation. They do go on further to discuss professionals being very clear with the diagnosis concerning the parents so they understand perhaps the severity or specifically what their child may be facing. This is interesting because it shows the power of the word. They literally mean the same thing. They point to the exact same diagnosis. But people have used that word as a slur, as an insult, as something derogatory. They have stigmatized those with intellectual disabilities and have weaponized their own diagnosis against them. For this reason, I agree with efforts to avoid the use of this word. It's clearly hurtful and painful for many, and seriously disrespectful to use in a derogatory manner. For there to have been a law passed to change the federal documentation and the words in federal documents had to have meant that this word was very stigmatizing, that this had caused a lot of significant pain and separation for a lot of individuals. Again, I understand that most people do not quite understand or recognize the severity of their insults. Ignorance and understanding where the word comes from and how it can affect others can lead to habitual use. But it's not just a casual insult or a slang word or a cuss word. It's not just like a small fringe group getting upset and trying to police everyone's word usage. I understand changing language is not as easy as someone just saying stop and then you just stop using it. Obviously, things get into our everyday vocabulary and they become something we just use on habit. It's something we may have heard a lot. It may be something that you're used to saying because your peers said, stuff like that. I understand it is not always easy to just drop something. However, please be mindful of those around you. Someone may be intellectually disabled or otherwise affected by the words that you choose to use. Sometimes people will persist. Sometimes people find it amusing to make fun of people who are different than them, who have done nothing wrong and yet are subject to bullying and ridicule, their worth assessed only by their limitations. Unfortunately, we can't force people to change or to listen or to care. If you've spoken and you've been ignored and people persist to say these things, it reflects more on them as a person than it does you. If people weaponize a diagnosis, it does not make you less. It speaks so much more about their character than it ever can possibly about yours. It's frustrating, and I'm really sorry for those of you who are in the situation where you've communicated those kind of boundaries, where you've communicated how that hurts you and other people find amusement in that. But I just want to make it very clear that that's not your fault. And if people continue to be like this, that's not on you. You are valuable. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you found this video useful. Kaishana, I hope this is the kind of video that you were looking to see, and I hope that it helped everybody understand a little bit more about this word and why people don't want it being used anymore. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you found this video useful, you can go ahead and hit the like button. I do upload to this channel every Thursday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, so if you're interested in autism-related things, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Thank you to my patrons for supporting me over on Patreon. And a special thank you to my Spaz tier patrons, Brian Kleinhammer and Jesse Graves. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope that you're having a wonderful week and see me in my next video.